Michelle, and friends. It seems to me that these types of gatherings have recently been occurring in the Sunline family.
All right, the party's here.
A little too often. In a period of about 6 months or less, we've lost 3 brothers and a sister in our family. And I really hope from the bottom of my heart, and I know that you guys, especially the Sunline employees, feel the same way I do, that I hope this trend doesn't continue. There is a scripture from the Bible that when I first read it many, many years ago, I really found it a little hard to understand, and it really kind of made me feel mad. Perhaps you're familiar with the scripture at Ecclesiastes 7:1 that says, "A name is better than good oil, and the day of death than the day of one's being born." I don't know if you ever heard that. But did you hear that it said the day of death is better than the day of one's birth? And really, how could you tell that to somebody who just lost their husband or their father? That's a tough thing to say. Well, I later found out what the meaning of that scripture was. And it says that, when you're born, really, what have you accomplished? Other than bringing joy to your family, you really haven't graduated from anything. You haven't invented anything. You haven't bought anything. You haven't sold anything. You haven't accumulated anything. You haven't even learned how to drive a bus. Notice how that little connection here? But see, on the day of your death, we know now who you are. Who the person that you were, okay? You've made a name for yourself. And I'm sure all of us can say things about Rick that are positive. See, if I stood up here and I told you that I knew Rick really, really well, I would be lying, okay? I did know Rick, well enough to say that I am going to miss him, okay? I worked for him for about 16 years or so. And I also knew him well enough to say that this thing that we're doing, we got to keep it light. We got to keep it upbeat. And for heaven's sakes, we're going to cry, but don't cry too much. Would you agree? So he was a little different. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example how different he was. We lost one of our dear brothers, Lee Martinez, on Memorial Day. And then we lost another one of our brothers, Mike Cohen, on July 4th. But I can almost hear Rick saying, if you think I'm going on Halloween, and not a chance. And forget about Thanksgiving, I'm no turkey. Okay? So, of course he left us on November 10th, which is right before Veterans Day, which of course he was. I don't know the history of his work. I know he was a veteran. So I first met Rick back in 1989, late summer. Another driver was cross-training me, and he told me what full-time drivers were making at that time. So we caught up with Rick at the town center, as a matter of fact, who confirmed that our hourly wage back then, in 1989, was $9.09. You guys that came afterwards, you think we're low paid now, but $9, Emilio, am I right? $9.09.
And you're always late, at least an hour or two.
Bus is breaking down.
All right, so $9.09 for the responsibility of driving a bus. And I really didn't know what I was more mad at. The fact that maybe the wage was so low, or that Rick was so happy telling me about it. I said, how could you be so happy? $9.09, my goodness. So, one of my first encounters with him was the question, why is it that you Hispanic guys, he wasn't prejudiced, but he was saying, why is it that you Hispanic guys are always walking around saying, what raisin? Yeah. Do you remember this?
I haven't heard him say that.
He goes, what raisin? What the heck are you talking about? Well, a raisin in Spanish is pasa. And what is pronounced que. We go around saying, hey, ¿qué pasa?
What raisin?
So Rick would always say, what do you guys always say, what raisin? So.
Yeah, he always said it.
Okay, so this is the type of person that he was. He was really upbeat, and he was quite funny. Okay, I'll just share one or two more thoughts about a brother, and you know, I know that he really likes supervising the 3 to 12 time period from Indio. And occasionally I would take an assignment from Indio, and in those days we had to cover the fare box at the end of the shift. You guys remember that?
Yes, he was really on that.
Oh my God, Rick, he was a pain in the ass. No,
Come home at night, man. Those
Yeah,
spare
so-
boxes.
of course, you know, I took that assignment and I didn't, you know, cover the fare box. And then 2 months later, the same thing happened. I didn't cover the fare box. He warned me about it. Then, of course, 2 months after that, I did the same thing. So I get a note from Rick in my mailbox, and it says, Mike, you didn't cover your fare box April 12th, you didn't cover your fare box on June 10th, and you didn't cover your fare box on August 8th. Next time, you'll be written up. So I said a little prayer for Rick. And of course it never happened again. Okay, one last thing, okay? In the old days we had buses that were in the 1400 series, 1440.
1477.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember those buses? So one day I'm driving 1469.
What a lucky number.
Rick came up to me and he said, hey, are you one for 69? And I go, yeah. He goes, no, no. Are you one for 69? And anyway, you know, I just wanted to share a couple of things about Rick that you know, came to mind, and you know, this stuff is quite emotional for me, and I just want to say, Lynn, you know, I'm sorry if I probably went a little overboard,
No,
or
that's okay. You know why we
if
have
if I went Rick Young on you, but I gotta tell you, I am gonna miss him. So love you.
Do you know why we have the phone number we have?
I
What are the last 4 numbers?
don't remember right now. I'm too nervous being up here.
0692.
06.
Oh, you 69 too?
Oh. Anyway, you guys.